a rain-slicked window of a skyscraper. Nyara is sitting across from Marcus Sterling, a man she once bankrolled. He is sliding a check for $10,000 across a mahogany table. Marcus Sterling didn't look like a snake when I met him. He looked like a genius in need of a chance. I gave him my capital, my contacts, and my proprietary algorithms. I built his throne, but today he isn't thanking me. He's offering me hush money. Marcus, take the 10 grand, Nyara. It's more than your bankrupt estate is worth. You fought the contracts and you lost. You're out of the industry. Just go disappear quietly. He smiled, that polished billionaire smile I helped pay for. He thought the legal walls he built around me were soundproof. He thought he had buried me under 400 pages of non-compete clauses and intellectual property transfers. What he forgot is that I'm the one who taught him how to read a contract, and I left a ghost in his machine. The betrayal, the paperwork of death, fast cuts of Nyara being escorted out of her own building by security, legal documents flying, Nyara sitting in a bare apartment, staring at a single highlighted sentence in a contract. 2 years ago, Marcus and I co-founded EtherTech. I was the visionary, he was the suit. But while I was in the lab, Marcus was in the backrooms with the lawyers. He triggered a performance default clause while I was grieving my mother's funeral. He diluted my shares to 0.01%. He used my own resources to launch a rival subsidiary that undercut my personal holdings, forcing me into a forced liquidation. I went from a $50 million net worth to sleeping on a floor in 3 months. My friends stopped calling. My mentees blocked my number. I was a nobody who had lost her mind, according to the press releases Marcus drafted. The discovery. I spent 6 months in that dark apartment, reading every line of the merger. Marcus was smart, but he was greedy. He wanted to own everything, including my failed patents from 10 years ago. He didn't realize that one of those failed patents contained a reverse trigger licensing clause. It stated that if the parent company ever used the technology in a public utility capacity, the original inventor, me, regained 51% voting rights of the entire infrastructure. The long game, the invisible return, visual Nyara working in a dimly lit library. She's not coding, she's lobbying, she's meeting with city officials in shadows. I didn't sue him. That's what he expected. Instead, I waited for his greed to do the work. Marcus wanted the smart city contract for New York. It was a $10 billion deal. To win it, his tech had to be integrated into the city's power grid. To make that tech work, he had to use my old, useless patent for energy distribution. He thought it was a loophole he'd closed. I spent my last $5,000 on a single, low-level clerk to ensure that patent number was listed in the city's public utility filing. The moment of impact. The deal was signed, the cameras were rolling. Marcus was on the cover of Forbes as the man who saved the city. He was at his peak. That's when I sent the letter. Not to him, to the board of directors. The unforgettable revenge, the boardroom coup, the EtherTech boardroom. Marcus is celebrating with champagne. The doors swing open. Nyara walks in. She isn't crying. She is wearing a custom-tailored white suit. She looks like a storm. Nyara, security, I told you she was banned. How did you even get past the lobby? I didn't come through the lobby, Marcus. I came through the bylaws. She tosses a leather-bound file onto the table. The board members look at it, their faces turning pale. By integrating Patent 8NV into the New York power grid, you triggered Clause 14C of the founding charter. This project is now classified as a public utility infrastructure, which means the founder's reversion is active. Nyara Voss holds the tie-breaking vote for the entire board, effective immediately. I watched the color drain from Marcus's face. It was better than any paycheck. Marcus, you said I was a nobody. You said I should disappear. Well, I'm the majority owner of the chair you're sitting in. And as my first act as chairwoman, you're fired for gross negligence and ethical violations. Your stock options? Forfeited under the bad actor clause you wrote for me. If you're loving this story, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss another one. The outro, the name they won't forget. Marcus being led out of the building by the same security guards who once removed Nyara. Nyara is standing at the window, looking out at the city she now partially powers. They wrote me off. They thought paper and ink could kill a vision. But a lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep, and a genius doesn't lose a war over a single battle. Marcus begged me for a settlement. He cried in my office, talking about his legacy. I didn't even look up from my screen. I just told him what he told me. Take the 10 grand, Marcus. It's more than you're worth. Screen fades to black with gold text, the architect of her own destiny.